now we're going to move on to some other types of racing and motorsport news that you prepared for us.
Correct. So first, we're actually going to continue on with some Formula racing. I have some Formula One news. So they did the testing for the new, some of the new stuff that is coming next year, which is the X mode and the Z mode. Say it again, how that was a word?
We talked about last week. Yeah, so it's a manual way for the drivers to adjust their front and rear wing. The Z mode is where both of it is closed. So you would...
Which doesn't make sense. Z for Zoom, dude.
Yeah. So both of it is closed. So you have... so it's good for going into like the corners and things like that. And then the X mode is like opens it. So you have more speed. This is like very, very simplified. There's a lot more technical things, of course, to go to it. But yes, so they tested that out this week?
Yeah, they tested it out. Or I think a bunch of probably different teams did it. I've mostly read about the Ferrari test.
Okay.
So Lewis did... a program where he did, I think, 73 laps. They tried out the new tires because they're going to be
more narrow.
Yeah, they're going to be smaller or narrow.
Yeah, because the diameter is the same. It's just that the width of the tire is going to be less.
More narrow. So he tested the C2, C3, C4, and C5 compound. Once again, for a total of 73 laps, 386 kilometers, and he did a time of the best time of 126.1.
What track was it?
That was, oh my God, girl. Was that at Bahrain?
Could be. I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think so. Then Charles did testing on the C5, C4, and C3. He did 75 laps, so 2 extra laps. And he did a best time also on the C5 with the 126.4. So he was about 3/10 slower than Lewis. And then we had their junior driver test also, he did 122 laps.
Is that Arthur or?
No, this is Dino Beganovic.
Beganovic.
Because Arthur is not a young driver. He's the reserve driver.
Gotcha.
Different, right?
Okay.
He did 644 kilometers, and he did a 125.7 on a C5 tire.
Okay.
And the cool thing is, if you also look up footage, you can actually then also see the X mode and the Z mode being implemented.
Okay, cool.
So I saw footage of I think it was Lewis, I'm not sure, and then activating the X mode, and then you see the front wing really move down, and then it just and it's cool to see obviously what's gonna happen. I will say the numbers don't mean anything because it is on the old car. It's the SF25.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't really but it is cool to see, and if you're interested in watching that footage, I'd recommend checking it out. I think that one of the big F1 news that happened this week was with Red Bull. So Helmut Marko has officially parted ways with Red Bull. He used to be the Red Bull. He was never working directly for Red Bull. He was the young driver talent scout, whatever. So he's the one that scouted Vettel, Danny, Max, I think also Isaac Hajar. And so they have officially now parted ways. There's no official announcement now who will be taking over for him. I think a lot of people would love it for it to be Vettel. I don't know if he's interested in doing that. I think Vettel is just a really popular person off grid.
Yes, of course.
And there was also this whole thing that apparently Helmut Marko had signed another driver.
Two drivers.
Behind the scenes. I couldn't actually find any confirmation about that. As far as I know, the one driver that really got screwed over by this is Alex Dunny, who is a Irish driver. He finished, I think, 4th in the F2 championship. And he joined last year in 2024 the McLaren Driver Academy. And then he ended up leaving them.
Oh, interesting.
Potentially to join Red Bull, but then what is his name? Mackey's. What is his first name? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So the principal of the Red Bull team, he said Laurent Mackey's, because Helmut Marko first said was like, oh, Alex Dunny, he's our guy, right? And then Mackey's was like,
no, he's not.
No, he's not. It's not the person that we're looking for. And so now he actually doesn't have a team that he's working with. There is rumors now that he's linking up with Alpine. maybe I don't know if he's going to be like a reserve driver or something like that, because I did look it up and Colapinto does have a full contract for 2026.
Oh, okay.
So he's not on a race to race.
Gotcha.
Contract, which I think is also good. Like, let this boy just just race, you know, don't have him worry about anything. And I think for as far as how bad the Alpine is, I think he did an okay job, you know. It is, I mean, he is severely outclassed by Pierre, but Pierre's also more used to the car.
Yeah.
And Pierre actually, for the shitty Alpine that it is, he actually did really, really well, especially when it comes into making it into Q3.
Yes, agreed.
And a car that is, I think, inarguably the worst one on the grid, or was last year. So it's hopefully he will be able to find a seat, because this is just really unfortunate when you kind of also get caught up in the politics of things.
Yeah.
I know Helmut Marko also said, like, oh, if they would have sacked Christian Horner sooner, then Max would have won the championship. I don't know if this was his way of also trying to get on Laurent's good side. Laurent doesn't strike me someone who is interested in playing these games.
I mean, I don't know him well enough. I don't know him, but it doesn't appear, at least
he doesn't come
like
off
that.
as that way. As I think, because he is an engineer, and I think he's more interested in making sure that the car is in a ways. Not that Christian
he lets his actions speak louder than words. It seems.
And I think maybe having him at the head of Red Bull hopefully now will bring this sense of like unity, because there was so much, especially at the beginning of the season, there was so much messiness going on around Red Bull, right? We had these allegations against Christian Horner. There was all this infighting in between. I think it was Joss, Helmut. This all coming off of the death of the owner of Red Bull, right? Which happened a year prior to that. And there was so much infighting for who's going to take over. Then there was also talks, obviously, about now Christian Horner going to Aston Martin, but Aston Martin then picking Adrian Newey, because once again they're looking more for engineers. I think they're not looking for like quote unquote business people anymore. So I think it's a good idea, and I hope that at least on the inside, Red Bull, especially also the way they're treating their drivers, is going to go in a way that is a little bit more positive, because I think we're all collectively worried for Isaac.
Yeah.
Because Isaac is fantastic, and I think he has really shown how good he is. But I mean, it's hard to. It's like, but look what happened with Checo. Like, Checo was a really, really good driver, right? He fell from grace. We all bashed on him, right? And then it turned out it was just an incredibly difficult car to drive. And then being the second driver, you just got much worse treatment, right? Yuki, for the first half of the season, he didn't even get any upgrades, right? They were all safe for Max. Which, on one hand, I kind of get it, dude. On the other hand, it's like you're not giving the other driver a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, yeah, that is what's been happening in F1.
Yeah.
Quickly,
also, because I had read about that there was this big meeting from the FIA that happened this week. It was... I forgot where exactly.
Uzbekistan?
I thought it was Uzbekistan. Yeah, exactly. So they had this big meeting where they talked about different like regulations and things like that. And then one of the big things, or two things that happened for F1 is that they're going to expand the number of staff on race weekends.
Unpaid?
No, for the teams that are allowed to bring, just because of the new regulation changes to allow them, give them some more manpower and women power to help them.
People power.
Exactly, to help them maneuver the changes and adjust and yada yada. And then one other big thing that I had read about before, but they officially announced it now, is for sprint race weekends. If there's a red flag during free practice 1, they're not gonna cut the time. They're gonna give them an extension of the free practice time, because free practice is so limited on a sprint race weekend.
Makes sense.
So they're gonna give them the opportunity to make up the time that's lost during a red flag, essentially, which I think is a great thing, just because on a sprint race weekend, you already have such limited time before you go into sprint qualifying. So it's nice to give them a little bit more time for the drivers, and then also for the team, for the general car setup.
Yeah, and then the other thing was that the FIA now has officially said that all F1 cars have to have the FIA logo on the nose of the car, either on the front or on the side, and it has to be visible. And part of me doesn't like a big part of me doesn't understand at all why, because F1 and FIA have always been associated with each other. F1 it never existed without the FIA, as far as I'm understanding this, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Or is it maybe 1 year?
I don't know exactly, but it's like, but also there's FIA logos on the tracks and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't
like it. It just seems like, why do we have to have the governing body? Like, here's the thing. I would have to look this up. I don't know if like in IMSA cars, they have the IMSA logo on the car.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
It's just
but
like,
it's also with like, so do rally cars now have to have the FIA logo on it? Karting, like all these other ones, do they have to?
It's just like it.
But also, why? You're a governing body. You're not a business. Is it? Oh, is it? Yeah. There you go again.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Speaking about the FIA council that met in Uzbekistan, they were also talking about the World Rally Championship, because in the 2027 season, there's going to be homologation conditions that have to be met. Homologation means...
I had to look that up earlier too. I'm
going to read it just for people who don't know exactly, because I don't think I can describe it in my words. Homologation is the official approval process where a product, especially vehicles or parts, is certified by a regulatory authority to meet specific safety, environmental, and technical standards for legal sale and use in a particular country or market. So in this case, it goes to the WRC 27 championship. So so there have right now the WRC has a manufacturer championship, and they're going to switch it to a constructors championship.
Okay.
And constructors, in order to be, I guess, eligible to be a constructor, you have to supply at least 10 race-ready cars, race WRC 27 type cars per calendar year to customers. Okay. So that means, like, for example, if Opel is like, we're going to make a car, you're going to essentially have to...
Sorry, I love that out of all rally cars, you picked Opel.
Because I think Hyundai and M, they're not going to be part of the WRC in 2027.
Oh, they're
anymore,
not?
as far as I'm understanding.
Okay.
But Toyota is still there, and Opel. And so essentially they will have to make 10 cars for different teams. And then they're also, I think they're doing like a hybrid program where new constructors don't have to supply 10 right away. There's like, I think, a graduate step in. So because the goal is to get more constructors to join the WRC. And then they're also, it's no longer going to be so the Rally 1 cars will be replaced with what is currently known as the WRC 27 cars. These cars will retain space frame chassis, but they will employ engine, suspension, running gear, and brakes from the current Rally 2 category.
Okay,
I think there's probably also going to maybe be a switch up with like maybe like hybrid and technology, but they didn't really go into that about this article here. So I think that's interesting. I know that some people were like, well, seems all kind of late because the 2026 season is starting next year. Are people really going to get this together?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was for 2027 though.
It is for 2027, but in the comments of that article, people were kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that deep into it to really speak on that. So then I think I have like 2.5 more things, and then I think that's all I have to say. So the big thing is, one of the big things is that so next year in the WEC, we will no longer have in the GT3 series, we will no longer have the BMW number 46.
Oh.
And Valentino Rossi is no longer part of the BMW team as of right now. So then number 46 team 46 car will be replaced by the number 69 car. And
which we saw at the Asian Le Mans series.
The M4 GT3. Yeah. So it's still a BMW. It's just no longer not the 46 anymore. And Valentino's also...
Is Max driving because it's 69?
No, he's actually taking number 3 next year.
Okay, is it officially
it's
now?
It's been confirmed, and Lando will be taking number 1.
Because I thought did he not talk to Danny?
He talked to Danny about it, yeah.
Because it was his old number.
Yeah, and Max took 33 because 3 was taken.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a bummer because I feel like the 46 BMW was successful. They've had ups and downs this season, but they were on the podium. And it's also just a bummer that we won't see Valentino then potentially.
And it's a completely new driver lineup.
Yeah.
So it's Dan Harper, Parker Thompson, and Anthony McIntosh. McIntosh was in a Aston Martin last year.
Okay.
In the Spirit of Le Mans. Or this year, 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so far, I haven't read anything. So I know that Valentino Rossi will be racing in the GT World Championship Europe.
Okay.
Still, but no news about the WEC.
Gotcha. Wow, that's quite interesting because we're missing the
Iron
Dames next year for the Endurance Championship. Now we're missing Valentino, which are two cars that we follow closely.
Correct.
And two teams or drivers. So that's a interesting change.
That is a great segue to my next point.
You're welcome.
And so we actually have, and okay, I'm going to say something really controversial, right?
Here we go.
And it shouldn't be like this, but because the Iron Dames are not participating in the WEC next year, it kind of gives the opportunity for other women to kind of be highlighted more that are kind of going under the radar right now.
Okay.
So one of them is Jamie Chadwick. She's actually officially now for the Genesis Magma Racing team, the reserve driver in their hypercar category. She did a hypercar test.
Yes.
And I think she's the second woman who has done that. And the other woman who's actually done hypercar testing and who is actually part of the Richard Millier as fuck. Of course. Of course. The Ferrari factory team is Lilou.
Yes.
Hang on, let me get her last name again. Lilou Wadeux.
Good job.
She's a French driver,
Yes.
and she actually has been doing really, really well in the GT3 series. And they won a race and everything. But I think the Iron Dames take up a lot of
attention.
Yeah. And I don't want this to be pitted against each other because it shouldn't be like this.
Yes.
But she's 24. She's younger than Jamie Chadwick. She tested already in a hypercar. She tested in a Toyota hypercar. She tested the 499 Ferrari hypercar.
Nice.
And she's a really great race driver. But she is just under the radar. And I'm hoping, and I'm going to make an effort to really pay more attention to her.
Nice.
Because even though the Iron Dames are not part of the WEC, I will still be watching it because I love the WEC.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit unfortunate that sometimes, because there's so much spotlight on the Iron Dames, we forget to highlight other women that are great too. And this is not, once again, to be like, oh, it's the Iron Dames' fault.
Yeah,
it's
no.
just be like, let's uplift everyone, right? And
no, I agree. I mean, we have been following Jamie Chadwick.
Yeah.
And she has been competing in some of the faster categories.
in LMP2,
Exactly.
she came third in Le Mans.
Which is incredible. And I mean, we've known her from the W Series because she won the W Series.
IndyCar.
IndyCar, of
NXT
course.
next, right?
Yes. So the junior Indy Series. So I'm excited. I'm happy that she's going to be at least a reserve driver for the hypercars, and I'm also willing to commit time to pay attention some more to Lilou also.
Yeah, Lilou was also in the LMP2 series, but I think right now she's in the GTD series on IMSA and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Oh, she's actually a champion.
Nice.
That's crazy.
That's incredible.
So I'm hoping, and not that I want anything to happen to these guys who are the main drivers, but if someone can't make it, maybe we'll see Jamie Chadwick in a hypercar
I would
in a
love
race.
it.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Once again, I want everyone to be safe and
Yes,
happy.
yes,
But
of
maybe they get married or some shit. Because they can't schedule around the 8 races of the year, right?
No.
But yeah, that is awesome. I think Jamie Chadwick will also be probably Lilou will be the woman that we'll see in a hypercar as a main driver. That will be awesome. And I think hopefully that will also invite women to also look into that, because I know there's a lot of focus on single seater.
Yes.
But the hypercar are just a little bit less difficult on the body because the head is inside.
Well, it's also, I think it's just, it doesn't have quite as big of a fan base or a
It's not
commercial fan base.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not as much pizzazz around it.
Because there's no Netflix show as much about it and stuff like that. So there's not as much of an audience, or you have to be in a way introduced to it some way or another to be able to watch it.
Yeah, I think maybe people know about Le Mans, right? But I don't know,
But then it's endurance. It's longer races.
It's a big commitment, right?
And it is a big commitment. Not everybody has the time or wants to invest the time into 4, 6, 8, 12, 24-hour race,
Absolutely.
It is a commitment.
Which is fair, and that's why it's also good that there's not that many races.
Yeah.
And the tracks that they race on are all really cool. So that helps tremendously. But either way, I'm really excited for Jamie. This actually happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it came across my radar, but I forgot to bring it up.
Gotcha.
So, and you can also on YouTube look up, there's a video about her test day.
Nice.
So if you want to check it out, once again, the team is the Genesis Magma Racing team.
Nice.
And I think that is all I have to say about news. I don't have anything left to say.
Okay, perfect. I feel like that's a good amount of news. We covered a bunch of different types of racing in our news today, and there won't be any racing, like major on-track racing, this upcoming weekend. I'm assuming it's also because leading up to some holidays that people will be celebrating. So I won't be able to, or I won't be bringing out a what to watch on Thursday just because there's nothing for me to cover at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll see if there's anything else we want to talk about, but we'll be back next week for sure. We'll talk about news, or maybe what we think about, maybe a year recap, or
I think I will have something to talk about.
Okay, I mean, you always have something to talk about.
Exactly.
Anyways, but thank you guys.
What are you going to talk about? Your crossword puzzle you do?
Maybe.
If it's racing specific.
Hater. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the news. If you have anything to add, or if you came across some news that we didn't talk about, we love and appreciate all your comments. I mean, that's what we're here for. We want to create a community to talk about racing because we love it. And we've already inspired some of our friends locally here to watch racing, and it's been
got them addicted.
And it's so exciting.
Yeah.
So
like 3 years ago, I didn't even know what F1 is.
Yes.
And now we had someone already attend races
Yes.
and stuff like that.
It's so exciting
Yeah.
to just share your passion with people in person, but also with people online.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we appreciate everybody's comments and input, and also additions, because we don't know everything. We're fans. We don't know.
We're not experts.
Yeah, exactly.
We try to obviously look for the right things, but
Yeah, we try to make educated
yeah.
sentences, but English is also not our first language. So anyways.
Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.